I do have a video production company, and I figured since I'm talking to coaches, I would try to provide the most value that I can for you guys. And so these are some tips and some ideas that I've drafted for improving your own marketing strategy. So using video. If you're not already currently using video, I'm going to explain why and how you can start doing it today. So that's me in the corner, my company website, tactusmedia.com. But here is what I want to cover with all of you. Why do video marketing? What is it? How to create it, when to make it, and where to post. So it's kind of your why, what, how, when, where. A little bit of a backward order there, but bear with me. So very first off, why do video marketing? Or how about I'll start at the very beginning, because I wanted to tell you guys a story about my own journey with video production. So I actually started doing video almost about 10 years ago, and it started as a passion project, something that I was doing for fun, and now has become something that I use daily. And I started out helping my friends that were in bands all throughout my childhood, making press kits and putting together business cards, and yes, making videos for them, music videos. And that evolved as I went to the University of Oregon and studied journalism and learned how to do more documentary style video production. And then it's also evolved into my current background of 4+ years in the financial industry doing marketing for them. So I kind of understand how video plays into your overall marketing strategy, whereas another videographer might not. So why do video? Well, number one, it's different. A lot of people have a blog, everyone has a website, or most people have a website, but not everyone has video. And I think video does a good job, going to number two, of educating, entertaining, and engaging your audience. You're able to teach your audience what it is that you do, why you do it, how you do it, and then you're able to entertain them. It's engaging through visuals with music, graphics, all these things that keep people's attention, which is really hard to do in today's attention economy is what they call it. And the next one is engage. People are able to share, they're able to press the play button, grab a thing of popcorn and watch the video about you. So, and they can do it at any time. They can watch it at 2 in the afternoon or 2 in the morning. I don't know if you guys are guilty of staying up late, binge watching videos on Netflix or on YouTube, but that's a thing. And then number three, it allows your personality to shine through. So if, a lot of us here are coaches, so you're going to be talking with people, and that's one of your strengths. That's one of the skills that you bring to the table, is they're able to communicate effectively, and you're able to talk with people and showcase who you are. Why are you unique? Why would someone want to work with you? And I think video has a larger audience, a larger reach, because it can be played automatically on LinkedIn and on Facebook. People are going to be watching it automatically, and then it also has a longer relevance if you make your video correctly. So you hire someone like me who can help you identify what not to say, not limiting, hey, I've been working in this industry for 7 years. You say maybe over 5 years. So that way your video has longer relevance down the road. So I know people like stats, so I've included a couple of stats here. 90% of users say that product videos are helpful in the decision-making process, and that's from HubSpot. That's a marketing platform. If you're not already using that, that's a good one for managing your client relations and just all your marketing aspects. But yeah, and then 72% of customers would rather learn about a product or service by way of video. Now, for the sake of time, I didn't include any videos into this presentation, but I did do some screen grabs, which I can go through later. But so it's pretty powerful. There's some other stats out there saying, by the year 2025, X% of the internet is going to be using video to answer a lot of their questions. I'm sure maybe you guys might be in a similar boat where if you're wanting to work on, I know I've done this in the past, if I want to work on my car or do something, I'll look up a YouTube video on it much more than I would rather look at the, the little thumbnails or the visual images or trying to read text to follow along. There's just something about having someone doing a video alongside you. So here are the 3 most effective video types of content. The first one being customer testimonials. Now, I don't necessarily recommend doing a high-end production for this. You can, if you'd like to do that. Maybe if your client is of a higher caliber, maybe you want them to look really good, but you can do these on your iPhone. I'd say the best time to do this if you're already out there with your client, already teaching, and it's at the end of a presentation, asking for that video testimonial while they're emotionally still excited and engaged with your content. That's a good time to ask for a testimonial. The next one is doing tutorial videos. A lot of time, like I mentioned, people are going to YouTube and saying, how do I do X, Y, and Z? So for your business, your coaching practice, is there a question that you can answer with a video that people might be searching? Now, I don't have time to go through keywords and really deep dive how to research the best type of video to create, but the site here, semrush.com, is a great way to search and see what kind of keywords people might be looking for in your industry. And the next one is demonstration videos, which is a little bit longer. That's like a webinar, a tutorial. And I didn't have time to add it to the site, but there's a thing called funnels. So, a video can help you at any portion, any stage in the funnel that your customer is at in the buying process. And so the customer testimonial might be a little higher on the funnel, and then much deeper and lower will be webinars, and full hour-long webinar explaining what your product or service does. Now, how do you do this? Now you might be asking, now today everyone has an iPhone, or most of us an iPhone or a smartphone, and you're able to record yourself. Now I put a couple of side-by-sides. What do you get when you do something yourself? Well, it's the cheapest. Sometimes you get what you pay for. It's the fastest. You can just record and upload. But you might have poor audio and video. It's funny that we brought that up at the beginning of today's Toastmasters meeting, audio, because people will never recognize good audio, but they will always recognize poor audio. So that is something people will click away from your video right away if the audio is just terrible. If they have background noise, you have wind, etc. Maybe it sounds like you're in a tin can. That's the famous one. But on the left, you hear cell phone selfie, kind of has a wider angle of view. You're able to see kind of the clutter in the background, but it is brighter than the webcam because the camera phone, I think the camera on my phone is better than my webcam. And then if you go all the way to the right, you see the DSLR has that shallow depth of field. If I had some lighting behind me, they would call it a bokeh. So it's just very nice and blurred out. I'm not going to explain what kind of equipment to use, like tripods and cameras, but I am doing a presentation this Friday if anyone would like to check it out, and you can learn more about how I do my setup and ways that you can incorporate it into your own practices. So professional, it's going to be a little bit more thoughtful. If you work with someone like me, I can ask you questions that will help guide what kind of video to make, which one is going to be the most meaningful for your business, and what's going to be able to give you the most success and return on your investment. So, and you're able to focus on the speaking portion of it. As the talent, you're able to just not have to worry about the cameras, all the equipment, because that's just a whole nother aspect. Making sure that the camera's recording. I don't know if you guys have had that issue, but having an extra person can make sure that doesn't happen, where you knock it out of the park and then the camera wasn't rolling or you had the lens cap on. I learned that the hard way through many, many years. So, and you can enhance the branding. So I have a quick case study here. This is a company called Troop HR. They're an HR company. So for a videographer, that makes it a little tougher. It's abstract. It's not a physical product. It's people that they're selling. So as you can see, there's a custom thumbnail in the top left corner. And I think that's huge. If you guys are making videos, just another pro tip, make sure you customize your thumbnail. Thank you, Dee, and make sure that it is on brand and everything looks part of the same family. So the next one, that's a culture shot. The next shot to the top right is I added lower thirds, and you have their logo branding in the corner. And all of these extra touch points for your customer are a way for them to reinforce and recognize your brand. And actually, they had a big problem. A lot of people didn't know what Troop means, and they had to answer this question every single time. So you might think for your own business, is there a question that you're answering all the time that a video could solve? And what does Troop mean? So we answer in this video, and the hope is that people that watch this video, they don't have to circle up and ask all the employees that work there. They've seen it in the video, and they have an understanding. For the sake of time, I'm going to move on to the next slide. But if you guys are following along, you have the slides on SlideShare, and you can always follow them later. So. Where do you post a video? Well, there's a handful of places where, as the internet has continued to develop, we have more social media platforms. There's a lot of places to put your video for maximum effectiveness. Thank you, Dee. So just very high level, website, email marketing. You can see that right there. It says 200 to 300% increase in click-through rates if you have a video in your emails. I definitely recommend putting in a signature. You're on your LinkedIn. I've been having a lot of great results there, YouTube, and then you can see some other notable social platforms in the bottom right corner. When is a good time to do video? Well, like that Chinese proverb, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, and the best time to plant a tree is today. So if you haven't started doing video and do your video marketing, I recommend starting today and start with that about video. Really quickly, who you are, what you do, and why you're passionate about what you do, and maybe a little bit about your personality. What are some of the things you do outside of work so you're not just a robot? But here's some common questions. I don't have enough time to go through those, but I will say this Friday, I am doing a Zoom training on how to level up your Zoom skills, and I will cover some of the things I covered in today's presentation and more, because I'll have more time than 6 to 9 minutes. So with that, thank you so much. You guys have been great. Feel free to check out the slides in the chat. I'll post that link again, and you can visit my website for more resources. Thank you.